If you live in any city that goes below 40 degrees, you might have seen this jacket on people. Pushed through social media and haul culture, the puff has been a core part of everyday luxury for the past couple of years. All this smart marketing and functionality for the coat comes from this company. Over the past 2 decades, Aritzia has been one of the fastest growing retail chains in North America, growing their revenue year by year and having their e-commerce be more of a support system than a burden. Aritzia has found a way to be almost 100% vertically integrated while also being profitable. So how did a company that started out in a small mall in Canada grow to having over 100 stores in the US? Well, here's how. I just finished getting the snow off my car. Freak. I did not dress for the weather. This coat is not warm enough. I'm gonna try to find parking in under 10 minutes while talking about this company. Here we go. Aritzia started out when a fresh out of college Brian Hill was looking to catch a break. And it came when a local mall reached out to his father, who was already in the retail world, to build out a mall concept. Throughout the 80s and 90s, they expanded all over Canada. Not trying to be a cookie cutter store, they tailored each store to what locals liked at the time. It was controlled growth that kept them stable in the early days. Using their base store in Vancouver to see what works, they used this time to mold their business model. Aritzia was unique because they found a way to make the store have a premium feel with amazing service. It attracted customers, and so they built off of that. I think the first smart thing Brian did was focus on proprietary lines early on. So with high margins and a large presence in Canada, they were able to set up a national expansion. They partnered with Boston-based Berkshire to fuel their growth. They debuted their e-commerce in 2006 and began opening on the West Coast. I think I found parking. Let's see. Yup, I got parking. That was quick. The West was closer to their base in Canada. They targeted the affluent areas there, which proved that demand was high in those areas. By 2010s, they had stores in Boston, Dallas, and Vegas. With mall era declining and fast fashion emerging, Aritzia positioned themselves in a dominant space that kept them afloat. Their competitors definitely had a large share in the fast fashion market, but Aritzia held on. With keeping their brand primarily in-house and having an online presence, they were able to go public in one of the worst IPO years for Canadian companies. Brian and Berkshire sold their shares after 11 years of ownership. Post-IPO, the company opened 8 to 13 stores annually, growing at least 10% year over year. And by the time the pandemic hit, while companies that didn't have a big online presence ended up having a big dip, Aritzia's site surged. It grew 88% in 2021 and stabilized in 2022, making up 30 to 40% of sales as stores started to reopen. In a way, the pandemic made what was an in-store experience into a digital discovery. After acquiring a manufacturing company that kept their model of being fully integrated, Google ads and TikTok hauls created brand awareness, making what was social buzz into sales. Targeting their influencers to promote their campaign did them justice because it made their social proof credible. With their mobile app that just launched and plans to expand 8 to 10 stores annually, Aritzia is on pace to be doing about $4 billion in revenue in the upcoming years. So what the heck are they doing right? Well, it's a couple things. First, be in control. The ability to be in control of the whole business operation from manufacturing to the purchase experience. Aritzia kept their eye on making sure that their in-house brands was not only just distinctive, but also appealing to customers, and this stayed true to their everyday luxury model. And this makes up a majority of their sales and not letting anyone control the manufacturing of their products but them. Number 2, positioning. The CEOs were visionary to know when to move into markets at the right time. They moved into the US at a time where malls were dying, but e-commerce was booming. But they really held their own by doubling down on it during the pandemic, which gives us the iteration of Aritzia we see today. Number 3, awareness. In the fashion business, understanding how to reach your target audience is everything. It's not enough to just have an amazing product. I really like how the former CEO put it. He said the creatives make up 5, maybe 6% of their employees, and marketing, finance, and HR makes up 90+%. In the fashion business, everyone has to get creative, even if you're in the finance. And it makes sense. In a seasonal market that Aritzia is in, protecting the creative is important so that they can experiment and know what works. But reaching the audience is a different creative process in itself, which shows how robust the culture is in the company. Giving consumers an optimal Aritzia experience is a byproduct of the culture's synergy. I've never owned a product from this brand, but I see it everywhere. And I'm gonna probably continue to keep seeing it for the rest of the decade. So I don't know, a bit different from what I usually do, but I wanted to talk about this company because I just wanted to know what makes this company work so well. That's it for today. Comment below and let me know what you think about Aritzia. All right, later.